Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Historic Militaria. Today we're going to be looking at the final iteration of the Mauser Broomhandle. And what you're looking at right now are a pair of 1930 commercials. And these are extremely late guns in terms of production. I believe the serial numbers on these are 913 and 915,000. And Mauser ceased production right about 920 or 21,000. So these are really at the end of broomhandle production. And the interesting thing about these guns is of all the broomhandle types that you will find in collecting, 1930 commercials, late 1930 commercials, are actually probably the one that you're going to find in the best condition consistently. So as you can see, both of these are in pretty nice condition. Doesn't look like they've seen much service. You've got a lot of your standard 1930 commercial stuff going on here. Your first thing you're going to notice is the really shiny black finish, and that's your salt blue that Mauser had moved to at about serial number 700,000 and change. And that's away from the rust blue, and obviously they stayed with that until the end of production on these guns. One thing that did change is Mauser decided to ditch the old Mauser Obendorf inscription on the right side and go to a little bit different font. You've got this sort of italicized font here, and it says Waffenfabrik Mauser Obendorf Nakar, and then DRP UAP. That is after, I believe, 1933. Obviously a change of power in Germany. So that stands for Deutsche Reich Patent and other patents. And you'll see that on later Mauser broomhandles and other guns too. They kept the sort of coarsely serrated 1930 commercial grips that you will see on earlier guns as well. And you've got your characteristic step in the barrel for 1930 commercials as well. Otherwise, your gun small parts are actually going to be salt blued as well. No more fire blue on these guns. So the trigger is going to be black. Your sight cursor is going to be black as well, that shiny black, and your extractor will be shiny black too. So earlier guns of these actually had fire bleed small parts, so Mauser just decided everything is going to get salt blued, and that's going to be the end of it. No more fire blue at all. Kind of gives for a very nice looking gun. These are just really very characteristic of late production broomhandles. The other change that you'll see is the serial number has been moved off the flat where it's been for a gazillion years, and it actually got moved back here behind the rear sight, and that is the only serial number on the gun. So it really is, you can't say these are matching guns because they only have one serial number, and no other parts are going to have serial numbers. You're going to look at the back here. As you can see, left completely blank, no markings whatsoever. The NS hammer is gone because they've moved to the 1930 commercial type safety, and just really kind of changed the gun up. Moved the serial number on the late guns, different markings on them. You still do have your Mauser commercial banner marking right there, so they've kept that. And you still have your Crown U proof, which has always been on the gun. Other than that, these are just what you'll see when you're looking at the end of production for the Mauser. And as I said, right about serial number 920, 921, they just sort of stopped making them. About 1937 is sort of the accepted date of the end of production. I don't know that anyone really knows exactly when they stopped being made, but a fair amount of these actually ended up in German military service, either officially or unofficially. There are variants floating around of these in even these serial number ranges with German Waffen-Amp proofs of varying degrees of authenticity, so be careful if you're contemplating buying one that is being touted as a Nazi one. Know what you're looking for. And there's another video on an actual German Waffen-Amp one that I've done, and you'll always see the very small Waffen-Amp either here or here. You're not going to see any kind of big swastika or eagle on the magazine. If you ever see something like that, immediately run away from it. It's completely fake, not real, absolutely BS. The other thing I will point out about these guns is they are still graduated to 1,000 meters, so the rear sight really hasn't changed. This is just sort of where Mauser said, okay, we're going to make some and sit them in the factory, and my guess is actually a lot of these were untouched after the war and may have been brought home by GIs or, you know, just sort of distributed around and never saw service. So kind of an interesting end to the Mauser. Not a lot of variants of these. If you're looking at a late 1930 commercial, they're pretty much all going to be the same. So nothing to get overly excited about with different variants or anything like that. But hope you've enjoyed taking a look at what you can expect when you're looking at Mauser 1930 commercials. Thanks for watching.